Hello and welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name is Sarah and I'm so glad that you stopped by. Today I wanted to talk about mental health. I've lived with anxiety and depression since I was a teen, and today I just wanted to share a few of the practical things that have and continue to help me in this area. Before I start, I wanted to point out that depression should not be treated as though it's merely an issue with your mind. To effectively battle depression, you have to realize that it is also physical and spiritual. So my tips will be broken down into those three categories. Regarding the mind, if depression continues to plague you despite your best efforts to get a handle on it, seek medical help. There is zero weakness in seeking medication. You can typically get medication from your general physician, which is cheaper than seeing a psychiatrist when either you don't have insurance or your insurance doesn't cover mental health. There is zero weakness in seeking therapy. Being able to speak to someone impartial is great because the therapist isn't part of your life. This means that they can't get their feelings hurt by what you have to say, and they're not going to have an agenda in the advice that they give you. Therapy can be a cost that many people can't afford though, and that leads me to point 2. If there is someone in your life who can handle what you want to talk about, see if you can meet up regularly. Set a timer for 20 minutes and use that time to tell your friend everything you're struggling with. Then set the timer again and let your friend do the same. If you're not ready to share, or you're not in a season where you have a friend that you can talk to about deep matters, either journal or record voice memos on your phone and just get everything out that you're thinking. This one is important because the negative feelings will poison you if you keep them bottled up. Letting the words out, even if only to yourself, strips some of the power that those thoughts have over your mind. Number 3, guard what you watch, listen to, and read. I'm a huge fan of Law & Order SVU, for example. But you know what makes me feel better about humanity? Not Special Victims Unit. Number 4, do the thing you don't want to do. There are so many times I've gotten into a funk because I'm putting off a task that I don't want to do, but that needs to be done. It's mental baggage and it will weigh you down. So face at least one thing a day that will allow you to breathe easier once you've crossed it off your list. Moving on to your body. You have to take care of your body to take care of your mind. This means paying attention to what you eat and how much activity you have. Period, no way around it. Here are some practical suggestions to take care of your body. First, if you eat like crap, do not decide overnight to overhaul your entire diet. Instead, do these 2 things. First, pick one bad food habit, and not the most intense one you have, and decide to swap it for a healthier version. Example, me and sugar. When trying to cut out sugar, I couldn't start with dessert. It was just too dear a friend to me. But I could start with sodas, which are filled with sugar. I gave up sodas and I switched to LaCroix, which kind of makes me feel like I'm having a soda. The second thing you can do for your diet is, rather than focusing on all that you need to remove from your diet, flip that negative script and view each meal as an opportunity to give yourself good nutrients. Example, practically any meal can be made into a salad bowl. Do you want tacos? Start with a bowl of spinach or romaine, anything besides iceberg lettuce, and top with meat, cheese, beans, whatever you want. But add as many veggies as you can. That way you're giving your body some good things that it needs and don't have that deprived feeling that you get when you decide to eat chicken breast and broccoli for every meal. My third tip is to move your body. This is a non-negotiable. However, don't let anyone tell you that there's one way to do this. I work out at a gym primarily, but I've also done the following: exercise videos, walks with my dogs or my kiddos, flag football, frisbee, and dance videos. Our dear friend YouTube has tutorials for every sort of dance there is. Let me assure you that after following a Bollywood dance tutorial, you will feel better mentally, and you'll also have gotten your cardio. Lastly, I want to address the spiritual. This is going to look different for everyone, but it's important to think about, so I'm going to give you some ideas. Number 1, carve out time to pray or meditate. Number 2, listen to good music. Music is so incredibly powerful, and I don't think most people utilize it for their mental health. Number 3, search out beauty. Being outside and enjoying nature heals my spirit. I also love going to museums and holding babies. Number 4, analyze what brings you joy. For me, it's reading a book, writing, and making videos. There was a long span of time when I was so down, I didn't even want to do the things that made me happy. But you have to fight for joy, even if just a little bit each day. You can carve out 5 minutes each day to draw or color or read or knit, whatever makes your spirit take a deep breath. Number 4, condition yourself to recognize negative thought patterns and actively engage them. Example. There is a voice that is whispered to me all my life. It says that I shouldn't try anything because no matter what I do, I'll be a failure. When this voice starts up, I immediately combat it. I say something like, that's a lie, and I don't listen to lies. Then I remind myself that I get to decide what success is. With YouTube, for example, I want to make a living at this, but if I don't, I'll still be successful because I didn't let my fear win. Even if you don't believe the positive things that you're saying to combat the negative, keep saying it over and over. You probably don't remember when that negative thought took hold in your brain. It just repeated enough times that it took hold. And it'll work the same way with positive thoughts. I hope any of these ideas are helpful to you or maybe to someone in your life who's struggling. Let me end by reminding you that you are precious, that there is no one like you, and that you were created for a purpose. There is meaning in your life, and it is never, ever too late to start over. Take it from someone who lived decades in acute fear and shame. It's never too late to change. Sending you hugs and love, and I'll talk to you soon.